I'm checking out the Hollyland Mars 300 Pro Enhanced. This is a dual HDMI wireless video transmission system. Let's take a look and see what we have in the box. First thing we have, of course, is the instructions. All right. First, we have got the receiver unit here. You can see on the back, we have the Sony NPF battery power. On the side here, we have some switches. I believe this is the navigation that you will go through with the OLED screen here. On the other side, we have two HDMI out ports, and I believe that is a USB-C power port as well. And now we have the transmitter unit. On the back, same Sony NPF battery port, battery release button. We have a 1/4-20 mount on there, I believe. Yes, both have 1/4-20 mounts. And the same navigation buttons on the side with the OLED screen. But on the back here, looks like we have some antenna ports. All right, let's see what else we've got in here. We have, it looks like another mounting option here. And yep, that's going to go on to the top of this unit here. Just provides you with another 1/4-20. So instead, if you didn't want it mounted, vertically on your camera, you put that on the back, and then you have more of a horizontal mounting option. We have three antennas as well. Looks like, okay, one is sort of your backup in case you lose one. So you pull off these yellow covers here and screw those into the unit there. And here as well. All right. So now your transmitter has antennas that you can then position however you need to get the best reception. And then, like I said, you have one backup as a spare. What else do we have in here? We have a USB-C charging cable. And lastly, we have, like you have in a lot of camera products, a cold shoe mount with a 1/4-20. That will enable you to do something along these lines for your transmitter. And then now you're mounting that directly on top of your camera. One of the great features about the Hollyland Mars 300 Pro is your ability to transmit Wi-Fi to their app, whether it's on a smartphone or an iPad. So you don't necessarily need another monitor. However, you can use them at the same time. So the functionality of the app is actually amazing. Let's get into that a little bit. Let's take a look and see what the app gives you. As you can see here, I'm actually streaming this to two devices. It's a nice feature. So I'm going to work off my iPad here. You have the main screen here. Now if you click once on the screen, then you pull up your menu bar down here. We have things like waveform. Press again to make that go away. Your histogram, your focus peaking. If you click and hold here, that's where you can set what color you'd like your peaking to be, and also the threshold at when that kicks in. Make that go away. You have your zebras, so you make sure you're not overexposed anywhere on your image. You have your framing, which just gives you a safe recording area. Again, click and hold, and you can pull out whatever settings you might want on there. You have magnify, so if you want to really be able to dial in your focus, again, click and hold. You can set the size of the magnification box and also the border that's around the box. You have your false colors, which are fantastic when you want to make sure you're getting your exposure just right. And if you're not super familiar with false color, again, if you just click and hold, you'll get the scale that tells you what each color means. You have something called monocolor. Now you can click and hold and you can change that to be grayscale or all blue, all green, all red. What that does is if you remove all the colors out of your screen, you can tend to focus a little bit easier. I don't know if anyone uses it for exposure. I certainly don't. But if I have a complicated screen and I'm having problems seeing the focus peaking, when you combine the two of those together, it just makes it a little bit easier to set your focus. And then lastly, you have your LUTs that you can load onto it. So for example, if you're shooting in log, you can have a LUT pull up here. Now it has several built in, looks like Canon and Sony, different log modes. You can upload your own LUT to the system as well. So if you are using this system in more of a run and gun type situation, the most likely way you're going to mount this system is directly to the hot shoe of the camera. You take the cold shoe adapter here, slide that into the top of my GH5S, and then we'll take the Hollyland system. Let's unplug the HDMI cable so we can screw him in, and let's spin him on. Let's see, let's go to about there, and then you can take that bottom screw, get that in nice and tight, screw the bottom one so we're nice and tight there. And now you have this nicely mounted on top of your camera, and you have an extremely mobile solution here while transmitting to either, some mobile apps or to some other field monitors as well. Really lightweight, really simple. Let's drop in a big battery here. The 950 is all I had on me. I don't have one of the smaller ones. You can get the batteries, I think it's the 550. It's much smaller. It kind of will top off right about there. You take your other HDMI cable here, plug that to HDMI in, and there you go. You have an incredibly lightweight mobile solution for transmitting your video feed. Let's run down the specs of the Hollyland Mars 300. They claim you can get up to 400 feet transmission with this thing. Optimally, you probably want to stick a little closer to about 100 feet or so. When you get closer to that 300 to 400 mark, you might get some dropouts, but you can feel 100 is pretty much optimal. This enhanced version has a lower latency than the regular 300 Pro with 0.08 seconds of latency versus the 0.10 of the regular 300. You can power it with USB-C or Sony NPF batteries. It has OLED screens, whereas the original Mars 300 had no screens at all. Let's take a real quick look at the latency here. Now this is a super simple test, but if I put my finger out here from my camera and I slowly move it up and down, you can see by viewing my finger on the mobile app, it's actually not bad at all when you're moving slower. Now if you move quick, like this, the latency is going to be a little bit more apparent. But like I said before, it's 0.08, which is actually not bad at all. At the end of the day, what do I think about this system? For the price range, I don't think that there's a better wireless video transmission system on the market. To get much better than this, I think you're going to have to look at something like the Teradek. And I believe that that starts at about $1,000. So for almost half that price, you get a transmission system. It provides an incredible value for the money. If you're an independent filmmaker or maybe even a YouTuber and you have a need for this sort of wireless image transmission system, I would absolutely recommend this.